Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. I need to get used to referring to Joe Flacco as the big dick player of the week for the Broncos, Perna. Now, it's almost too late for this episode, but we're doing it anyway. After trading away Case Keenum to Washington and freeing up $32 to $36 million in cap space, maybe up to 40 once Brandon Marshall's off the books, the Denver Broncos are likely to sign at least one high-profile player in free agency. Maybe a few role players we can get excited about. I covered the defensive side of the ball in great detail in this video, so today we're going to talk about the offense. Basically, anyone not named Phillip Lindsay can be upgraded on that side of the ball. Let's go sports. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, click the notification button. That's what you need to do if you're not a Patreon donor. Patreons, I do have big dick shout outs for Glenn Beaumont upping to $10, Robe Robbie, Timothy DeVries, Tim Ward, Dan the NPC, another Chiefs fan trying to pay me off. It's working. Jeremy Posh and Bing Bong Wing Wong. Check out my ding dong. Thank you very kindly for your donations. Patreon is how this channel stays alive. It is how I make all of these great videos every day, including Saturdays when I should be having fun. All right. Broncos free agency. The Jacksonville Jaguars released Malik Jackson yesterday. Chris Harris wants him back in Denver, and so do I. Wait, I thought you said this was an offensive episode. That I did. And that's why Mike Munchak should convert Malik Jackson to left tackle. Don't even try to fuck with my football intelligence here, people. I am 10 steps ahead of you. And when you think you figured me out, I'm already at the enchantment under the sea dance, rewriting everything you know to be true. Yes, for the right price though, Malik Jackson would be an upgrade over Adam Gotsis. 2018 was not Jackson's best season, but he finished strong with 3 sacks in the final 2 games. Okay, back to the offense. Also, I have some sore on my tongue and it is making it weird to talk. Feels numb. Assuming Joe Flacco or a drafted quarterback will be an upgrade at the position, the biggest offensive need for the Broncos is offensive line. But hey, it's only been the biggest area of need for the 5th straight season, so why are we worried? The Broncos did improve on the O-line from 2017 to 2018, and now with Mike Munchak, the O-line could become a real position of strength, assuming Munchak is also a witch, as his last name would suggest. That being said, Matt Paradis is going to be an unrestricted free agent, 99% sure he's gone. There's a chance Ronald Leary gets cut before the season because of his contract is too rich and he has major injury concerns. But based on all the other departures, he could stay even if he is injured. Right tackle Jared Veldheer and guard Max Garcia are unrestricted free agents, and Denver couldn't work out terms with Billy Turner for an extension, so he'll be a free agent. So congratulations, Joe Flacco. You have 2, maybe 3 starting offensive linemen returning to protect you. The Broncos could potentially need to fill 3 spots, so they may have to look to the draft and free agency just to have a line. Hopefully last year's draft pick Sam Jones can play center and they can move Connor McGovern back to guard because he was significantly worse at center than Paradis. If they sign Paradis, they may just need to prioritize signing a right tackle, and they could have Jones and McGovern at guard positions. As center, the Broncos may consider signing, if they move, say, Jones and McGovern to guards, is Kansas City center, 27-year-old Mitch Morris. His greatest strength is when his last name is followed by the abbreviation for the position he plays, you can call him Morrissey. I'm sure the Chiefs will try to keep him, but if you can fuck over a division rival, you absolutely have to do it. That'll show them for their 7 straight wins against us. I have no idea, though, why Denver would pay Mitch Morris close to the same amount of money they could pay Matt Take Me Down to the Paradise City, who is far better than anything Mitch Morrissey ever wrote. There are a couple guards and tackles who would be nice additions in Denver as well. Rams guard Rodgers Saffold. He is the longest tenured Ram and a key part of their offensive line. If they can't re-sign, and like I said, I have no idea where they keep getting money to pay all of their players, the Broncos could use a veteran at guard. Ramon Foster, guard, another vet guard, and someone who played his best football under Mike Munchak. The only problem is he's 33. Upside though, major dad strength. Other problem, Pittsburgh already re-signed him. They just re-signed him last week. Well, that extends what I know about offensive guards who will be available. I'm assuming anyone Denver already has on the roster is close to as good as any of the free agents not named Saffold or Foster. As far as tackles go, the two big names on the market are Trent Brown and Ja'Wuan James. Trent Brown became the heaviest player in NFL history to play a full season last year. A record he can break again if he really puts his mind to it. The Patriots are expected to let him walk, so he's definitely worth a look. Dolphins tackle Ja'Wuan James would be a great addition, but I don't want to be the one to rip James away from his best friend, Laramie Tunzel, who's very worried about his departure. Then you have Panthers tackle Darrell Williams. This could work out perfectly for the Broncos. Like most good Broncos, Williams was injured most of 2018, but was a second-team All-Pro in 2017. I feel like he's the most gettable of the top available tackles. But the sleeper here is Matt Feiler from the Steelers. He played well filling in for Marcus Gilbert last year, who Pittsburgh traded to Arizona already, which means Feiler might be a high-priority signing for the Steelers. It really sucks that the only players who seem to want to stay in Pittsburgh are the fucking offensive linemen. The one area I was hoping Mike Munchak would be able to poach the shit out of. Moving on to tight end. The ultimate tight end, Jake Butt, is coming back from his third ACL tear, but we don't know if he can be relied upon at this point. While Troy Fumagalli could be high-foring teammates in the end zone in 2019, he's still another question mark at this point. If the Broncos don't re-sign Jeff Heuerman, it would make sense to grab a guy in free agency to give Flacco a reliable target. Yeah, that's what they say about tight ends, right? Matt LaCosse will be a free agent, so Denver may have to go shopping here. First guy, Demetrius Harris, the Chiefs tight end that isn't Travis Kelce. Just sign him so he doesn't score against the Broncos again. The same applies to Raiders tight end Jared Cook. At 32, he's getting a little old, but last season, it looked like he was just hitting his prime. Then you have the Bengals' Tyler Eifert. Eifert is only 28, but at this point, he has the body of a 200-year-old man. That being said, remember that season where he was actually healthy? Yeah, that was pretty damn awesome. Also, Eifert said most of his injuries have been freak accidents, which makes me feel better about his durability, but leads me to believe he was cursed by a one-eyed gypsy woman. And I don't know how you break that. He also possesses the #1 trait Broncos value in tight ends. No, not being able to block, a very long history of injuries. Which makes the other Tyler in Cincinnati a possibility, Tyler Kroft, womb raider. Watch out, ladies. Will be a free agent as well, also missed 2018 with a broken foot. Then you have Jesse James from Pittsburgh. James is a pretty decent receiving option and is still only 25 years old. The rumors connecting him to the Broncos have increased over the last week or so. I'm also guessing he wants to go somewhere where the fans won't chant, "Heath! Heath!" whenever he catches a pass. Biggest downside, you can never count on him against the Patriots. Also, I can never tell the difference between him and Eric Decker's wife, Jessie James Decker. They're both hot, great singers, and are always taking naked pictures of Eric Decker. Imagine if Jesse James left Big Dick Decker because, quote, Jesse James has better hands. Talk about a great reality show. I really only expect the Broncos to pursue offensive line and tight ends in free agency. Those are the huge areas of need for the team. We know Denver has 3 running backs they like in Phillip Lindsay, Royce Freeman, and Devontae Booker. And not a single one of those players is slated to make over $1 million in 2019. If the Broncos don't give Phillip Lindsay some sort of raise, they're dicks. However, if they wanted to add a back who I think would be the perfect complement to Mr. Colorado, it's Saints running back Mark Ingram. If you want a running back that can give you consistent production for 12 weeks, look no further than Mr. Ingram. Mark Ingram is what we hope Royce Freeman will morph into. And don't get me wrong, I think Freeman will be better in year 2 and hopefully used more frequently. I thought he was pretty good last season. Ingram, though, is sort of like a more agile CJ Anderson. He's been in the league 8 years now and might be past his prime, or he might have 8 years left like Frank Gore. I doubt this happens, but he's the only running back I would be pretty excited about. Wide receiver, another area Denver seems to be set on, assuming Emmanuel Sanders will be fully recovered from his Achilles tear. Richard Sherman bounced back from his, so I have some faith Sanders can too. Then you have Cortland Sutton, Deshaun Hamilton, and Tim Patrick, a solid group of young, talented receivers. So the Broncos may only decide they need to add a receiver via the draft, if at all. They did release Sunshine Jordan Taylor, but don't worry, he's been signed to be Peyton Manning's cupbearer. 2 names have been linked to the Broncos, though, in the wide receiver department, and that's Ravens wideout John Brown and Tampa Bay receiver Adam Humphries, or as I call him, the White Cole Beasley.
Biggie and them white dickies, spiffy collar with rhyming.
Adam Humphries is a slot receiver, which I feel like is the role Deshaun Hamilton needs to develop into. I already said morph, didn't I? Humphries had 76 receptions last season, so he'd be a welcome addition to the offense. John Brown is interesting because he and Flacco were building a good chemistry in Baltimore. He had 200+ yard games with Flacco, put up 86 on the Broncos, had caught 3 touchdown passes in that time. But once Lamar Jackson took over, his production dropped significantly, just 1 touchdown, with his biggest performance being a 27-yard day. Brown is a big play wide receiver. His biggest concern, much like Jesse James Decker, are his hands. He tends to drop a decent amount of balls. But if Flacco could just huck it up to Cortland Sutton or John Brown, that might not be a bad strategy. And there we go. Those are the offensive dudes that would be catches for the Broncos. I don't know if they'll get any sexy names, but offensive line, you should be excited if they find a key piece there. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. Also, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, at Brandon Perna if you want to follow me there. My writing partner, my football love affair, give him a follow at WillKey6. He helps me put all of these episodes together with words that are better than the words I come up with sometimes. Sometimes not, but sometimes they are. You know, that's just how Will and I work together.